And we are back. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. It's a Friday here on the Doing All Right. Got some player breakdowns. Bryan Broaddus is in the flesh here.
How about that?
How was your trip, man? Your trip?
You know, it was excellent. Thank you very much for you and for Zach Rowe, and Caitlin Johnson, everybody pulling things together while I was on the road. Mm-hmm. Very smooth on my end. I really appreciate everybody's effort. And I was telling Zach this morning, and I think I brought it up on the show, that the traction that Crown Global Media and our various shows are doing, and how the production value of it and things like that are. And I'm super proud about that. I can't say that enough. And I want to thank everybody out there for making the show what it is. And I've learned this, there is a lot of Cowboy fans that are in the media. Secretly Cowboy fans that are in the media.
They may have to cover some other team, or they cover nationally.
I'm talking to a guy at Sirius Satellite Radio, NFL, Cowboy fan, Cowboy fan. Talking to a guy at Yahoo, Cowboy fan, and just the fact that you and I and Zach, Aisha, we all get to do this, on this platform and talk about the team, talk about the issues, talk about the draft. I think people are starting to appreciate and understand that we've got their best interest in heart, and they're enjoying it. And I can't thank everybody out there enough. I especially the comments too. Every day I read all the comments and stuff. But can I start this day with something though? But I'm going to start on a rant.
Hell yeah, Bryan Broaddus. What is bothering you?
You asked me how I was doing from I'm about to, and I don't know if it's a rant. I've had some violent rants before. Yeah, I've had some violent rants before. But this is my rant. And I had this discussion with Mike Sando.
What do you do?
From The Athletic.
From The Athletic, okay.
Mike Sando is a voter on the Hall of Fame committee.
Please.
And Mike Sando wanted to argue with me about the candidacy of Darren Woodson, when in actuality, he should have been saying, Bryan, you're absolutely right about Darren Woodson. If you're a Hall of Fame voter, and we know several, I know several, Rick Goslins, Shereen Williams, Clark Judge, very capable voters that vote. They go through and they do what they have to do to learn about the players. Maybe they ask guys or gals that have been with these players and ask them in a way of like, well, how would you compare? How would you say this guy played as compared to this guy? I was on a team with Brian Dawkins, Philadelphia. I was on a team with Leroy Butler, Green Bay Packers. I was on all these teams. Two gentlemen, very deserving Hall of Fame players. Not better than Darren Woodson. Not better. And I tried to explain that to Mike Sando. And Mike Sando is arguing with me about Darren Woodson and did he move the needle? You want to know?
He revolutionized safety DB play.
Yeah.
Fool.
Yeah. You want to understand something? You want to understand something about Darren Woodson? Yeah. The reason we're talking about a Caleb Downs today and how he's one of the best players in college football is because of what Darren Woodson did 30 years ago. His ability to play in the slot, his ability to play deep, his ability to play as a linebacker. Not only he had ability to play as a special teamer. Never came off the field. Never came off the field. And when you played against a Darren Woodson, you knew that he was going to be a problem. Yeah, you had to deal with Charles Haley and others. But when we were in Green Bay and other places we were, Darren Woodson was the guy that you worried about.
Yeah.
And I am shocked that this thing has continued the way it has. And I told Mike Sando that. I told it to him to his face. I go, you are wrong if you're not voting for Darren Woodson. And he's trying to tell me again, well, he doesn't do this. He does bullshit. He does everything and more at the position and everything and more for the defense. And again, one of the reasons why you're going to watch the Super Bowl today and Nick Amanawari, You're going to watch him play, and you're going to see a guy play down, and you're going to see so one day you're going to see the Detroit Lions play, and you see Brian Branch. You're going to see these guys all play.
Petrie, Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton, every single one of them.
Downs will be playing next year. There's plenty of guys, yeah.
Plenty of guys that are needle movers because of the way their teams use them. Darren Woodson was doing this 30 years ago. Right. You know, and I could say I have nothing against Brian Dawkins. Love Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins was I was in Philly for 1 year. If you wanted a teammate and a leader and a tough SOB, Brian Dawkins. Leroy Butler, converted corner. We had him at Green Bay. All these things. You know, you watched him play. He played safety, played down, could tackle, all these things. Not better than Darren Woodson. Not better than Darren Woodson. So the Hall of Fame, once again, got it wrong. Got it wrong. Nothing against the guys who got in. Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Drew Brees, very much a part of the National Football League and how you discuss the National Football League. But you want to start to talk about the best at a position?
Sure.
And you don't have Darren Woodson as part of that? Yeah. I can't support what you're talking about. I cannot support that.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And I think there'll be a day, and I don't want to forget Jason Witten.
Sure.
Because we drafted Jason Witten when I was with the Cowboys. You know, and to tell you the grade, Facci, 119 for Jason Witten.
Okay.
Bottom of the first round.
Yeah.
We get to the third round, and that was a pretty good tight end draft. Dallas Clark and those, all those guys, L.J. Smith. It was a good tight end draft. And Parcells and Jerry Jones were sitting there, and Parcells looks at Jerry and goes, "We got to draft this guy now, right?"
You're in the third round.
Third round
with a guy that you graded a late first guy.
Yeah. Jerry goes,
Lincoln Lake.
Jerry goes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the vision that Bill had for the player was the right vision. Jason Witten will have his day in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
But the real crime of all this, and this is why I wanted to take it on our platform, which I love our platform, is that Darren Woodson continues to get snubbed for no damn reason. Voters need to go back and look and talk to people. Mike Sando got an earful from me about Darren Woodson. Others need to kind of follow suit. Darren Woodson needs to be in the Hall of Fame. It's a shame it wasn't this year. And I hope he's not running out of opportunities to be in the Hall of Fame.
Bryan, do you think that, and this, I'm just asking, do you think what goes into the process, right, that they're having a conversation like, hey, man, it could be Woodson here, but there's a lot of Cowboys here, but there's not a lot of Saints here, so we're going to go with a Saints player, or there's not a lot of Cardinals.
Since 1960.
Sure.
This is not very long.
Yeah.
I was born in 63. I'm 62 years old.
Yeah.
Not a long history of Dallas Cowboys. Not like the New York Giants.
Right.
1925. Chicago Bears. Arizona Cardinals, who were the Chicago Cardinals in 1919. The Acme Packers in Green Bay. Right. Not a long history. You look at the history. There's a reason why the world follows the Dallas Cowboys. Before Jerry Jones bought this team in 1989, this was a really good team. The last 3-4 years kind of had a little bit of Tom Landry lost it, much like Belichick lost it at the end.
Yeah. 2 rings still, though.
I watched 20 years of playoff football, 20 straight years of winning football. Before 1989, this was a really good team.
That's a lot of winning Cowboys.
This team, and before Jerry Jones, has had more success than when Jerry Jones has bought the team. And I mean that in no disrespect to Jerry. I'm just saying, 30 years, Tom Landry, like the Dallas Cowboys are, every player that played for the Cowboys that had All-Pro or Pro Bowl or all-decade team guys.
And Darren Woodson got a lot of them.
Yeah, he's an all-decade. See, that's what I'm saying. This guy, this is what I'm saying. If it's one thing to say, well, the New Orleans Saints don't have many people, like you asked. Yeah. I don't give a damn.
Sure.
Don't care.
That's their franchise.
Don't care. Yeah. Every year they're drafting first or second, then they're drafting a kicker, Russell Erxleben from Texas. And you're like, oh, okay, that's the Saints. Or they're trading their whole draft for Ricky Williams. Man, I picked on 2 Texas players there for a second. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't care because those aren't the pillars of the national. When you tell the story of the National Football League, you might talk about Archie Manning.
Sure.
But I'm not talking about Guido Merkins.
Right.
Who's a real player, by the way.
There's what his name is?
Guido Merkins.
Ain't no damn way his name Guido for real.
Guido Merkins, real player for the Saints. But you tell the story with the Dallas Cowboys. That's why this fan base, that's why you guys out there, I'm pointing to you right now. That's why. That's why, because you realize that. You're part of that. You know, so I don't want to hear about the Saints, the Buccaneers. You know, the Buccaneers don't have a long history, and the Saints really don't either. But you know what? They don't have players that were pillars of the National Football League. They had players that were part of the National Football League. But when you tell the story of the Darren Woodsons.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
You know? And listen, love Ed Reed. You know, love Troy Polamalu. John Lynch can't cover and play as well as Darren Woodson. Nice. Can't. Watched him. Watched all those guys play. Was a scout. You guys know it. Watched them all. No, not this guy. Not this guy.
It's a shame, Bryan, and it's gonna get bumped back again, and you know.
Yeah, another year. And listen, Darren Woodson's gonna be when you talk to Darren Woodson, we'll have Darren Woodson on. Yeah. We'll have Darren Woodson on our show. Darren will come in here and visit with us. And we'll talk about that. And Darren will see me get real mad, like I did in Phoenix a couple years ago, when I'm just in the middle of a terminal MF-ing every voter for the Hall of Fame. And he looks at me and goes, Bryan, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
It's Darren Woodson. I'm losing my S.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't get mad. It's okay, man. That's Darren Woodson. Yeah. He was like that calming kind of like, hey, man, we'll get it. We'll figure this out. Let's go play. And I'm getting mad. Like I'm mad right now. But I just can't. I mean, I just worry about every year that goes by. You know, every year that goes by that they don't put him into that. He deserves that as much as any one of those safeties. There's guys in the Hall of Fame that they're great players,
sure,
but not like Darren Woodson.
Yeah.
Sad.
Appreciate your work and your service and your fight on that, Bryan.
It's you know, I'm trying to get Harvey Martin in the Ring of Honor too. Another one of my, you know, my guys in the early growing up, the 20 years following the Cowboys before the Joneses bought the team. Yeah. There's times where I think the Joneses, there was a great team. This was a great team before 1989. Yeah. So some of those guys deserve to be, they need to have the accolades, put them in the Ring of Honor as well.
I was born in 92, so I missed a lot of this.
You saw some, when I started in the NFL, I was there when you were born. Yeah. So yeah. Hey. I wish you could have seen all these guys play.
For sure.
You would have loved, we used to compete against the Darren Woodsons and the Troy Aikmans. You know that, Green Bay. We had no answer for that. We had no answer for Darren Woodson. Yeah. No answer for Troy Aikman.
What were your wide receivers in Green Bay looking like at the time? Who were those?
Robert Brooks.
Okay.
You know, was that Antonio Freeman.
Okay.
Yeah, we were Favre. We had was Sterling Sharp. You know? Okay, yeah. So we had, but to me, the Green Bay Packers have a history of not having great receivers. Yeah. They just kind of middle around, but it's we had no answer for anybody on the Dallas Cowboys, and a lot of the league didn't have any answers for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And that goes back to the like 60, 64, 65, 66 when the Cowboys started when Landry kind of got things going. And then from that point on it was like it was real. I mean, you would have loved the Cowboys of the 70s. You would have loved the way that you love offensive line play and defense. The way you love that stuff, you would have loved the Cowboys of the 70s.
Not gonna lie, Bryan, the last 5 minutes I just been thinking about John Lynch versus Darren Woodson.
Think about that. Yeah. Hey, John Lynch, walk over there and cover that guy.
Yeah, that ain't his
Lynch,
game.
Hey, John Lynch, knock the hell out of that guy. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But John Lynch, play single high.
And John Lynch,
flip your hips, get back, and make sure that Randy Moss doesn't get behind us today.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And John Lynch may have been the fifth best dude on that defense, maybe the sixth.
Oh, Derek Brooks.
Brooks and
Sapp,
Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp and them guys. Yeah.
Barber.
Rondé, yeah.
Come on, man.
John Lynch might be the sixth best guy on there.
Yeah. Guy's got a Hall of Fame jacket.
Hey, ain't on nobody. Hey, man, we gonna get into some work, Bryan. Appreciate your rant, man. You know.
I don't know if it was a rant, but I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it, and I had to let Mike Sando. Mike Sando is a nice man.
You know what though, Bryan? I fight for Dak in that same kind of way. Like, not in a way of like Hall of Fame or whatever, but like, I feel like I've watched this player and people are wrong about him. So I try to fight their wrongness with what I've seen. So you saw Woodson, you know what I mean? You saw Darren Woodson.
I lived it.
So now you get to see people that seemingly they don't know what they're talking about. These people that you fussing with or whatever. Like, hey, dog, like did you not see?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What film were you watching when you
I'm trying to tell these people, I was with people you put in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He is not a better player than the guys you're putting in the Hall of Fame. And I say that with respect to all those guys. Mm-hmm. But these players are not as good. And if you're not talking to people who were with these people, then what are you doing? Yeah. If you don't know, ask somebody. Mm. Ask somebody how Darren Woodson played. Take the time. You're on an expense account. Travel around. Pick up the phone. Get on a Zoom. Ask Jimmy Johnson how he played. Ask Dave Campo how he played. Ask Dave Wanstead how he played. Yeah. Hell, go back to Arizona State and ask his coaches how he played. Just figure it out. Yeah. And just don't look at, well, he doesn't really move the needle. Bullshit. You didn't watch the player. If you say that.
Let's get into some work, Bryan Broaddus. Good rant.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
Man, no problem, man. You know what time it is when you come up here and doing all right, man. Yeah. February 6th work. All right. Yeah. Bryan, I watched Connor Lew.
Connor Lew. You like Connor Lew.
I like Connor Lew, man, the center from Auburn. I've seen two centers so far that I like, both SEC guys.
One of them undersized, though, huh?
Talking about Slaughter.
Yeah.
Slaughter about a good, 308, 305
Yeah, we're at like 303, kind of like that. I think
he could use a sandwich.
I like the peanut butter theory myself.
Peanut butter theory is very interesting. These people
You taught me about the peanut butter theory.
They show up to the league, they have one off season, and magically they're just bigger than they've ever been, and they neck real thick and all this. They have different protein at these teams than we have access to, Bryan. Right. Slaughter could definitely use some of that. How big is Lew, Bryan?
My measurements, I have him at 6'3", 300.
Okay,
is what I have, and again we'll go back. We'll get the official combine numbers. We'll pour through those. We'll have a show about the combine. But I have him right now. The numbers I'm working off of is 6'3", 300 pounds.
Connor Lew, Bryan, played against some good competition that means a lot to me. And if you're going to be a center, the one thing I'm interested in is how you hold up by yourself. When you line up against those zeros and they have to bull you down the middle, and you got to give ground slowly. You got to anchor on those guys. You got to shoot hands quicker at center than you do guard and than you do at tackle. What are your down blocks like? Can you reach like a two technique or something like that?
Yeah.
Can you down block 2 or 2?
Can you get to a 3?
Centers, you special.
You get to a 3. We're the outside shoulder of the guard. You snatch a 3 technique. You're doing pretty good.
The further down you can reach and down block, the higher you get drafted.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
You put that very well. I'm just trying to talk technique wise, and you're saying the further outside you can block a guy, the more you're going to get drafted.
So Connor Lew can reach about to some 2 eyes, you know what I'm saying? To some guys that's lined up inside the guard, right?
Right.
So that's about a second round grade for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was watching Linderbaum, he was like reaching threes and
snatch those threes
and back blocking the threes. The farther you go.
Yeah.
So I think Connor Lew's Georgia game is a really good example. That's a really good example of what you could do with this
Preach,
guy.
my brother. Preach.
You know what I'm saying? They put big, strong people in front of them. They put quick-footed people in front of them. Our guy Miller got involved in that as well. And you just see Connor Lew competing and fighting with all those guys. Sometimes he's comboing. Sometimes he's looking for work as a help guy. Other times he was one-on-one. And Bryan, every time he kind of hung in there. I didn't see Lew dominate those guys.
Yep.
But he didn't get us killed.
Yep.
And that's a question somebody was asking me, right? If you like, let's just say it's a center from Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he's whooping the Navy kids or the Albany kids or something.
Yeah.
I'd rather Connor Lew that's in good fights that lose sometimes. He may give up ground sometimes to the Georgia Bama kids.
Right.
Than the dude that's whooping up on smaller schools.
Yeah.
I think Lew plays with a good base, good leverage. I think his hand placement is really good, Bryan. There are times, and look, you can see it, you don't have to be an O-line coach, but sometimes his hands will get high.
Yeah.
Somebody get chest on him and he'll replace his hands.
Yeah.
Some people don't replace. Some people just keep their hands up there and just go for the ride. But he's constantly trying to find placement with his hands, and I think like that's an active mental thing. That's an active reactionary thing. Yeah. I love that in center, smooth as a pass blocker, Bryan.
Yeah.
He may give up a step or two or whatever, but once he anchors, they kind of stay in there. I don't know how strong he is though, Bryan. I'm not sure how strong he is, but it feels like he can anchor strong people. It feels like he can handle powerful people, Bryan.
Yeah, I love what you're doing here because I saw the same thing. Yeah. Texas A&M, Georgia. Texas A&M's got big inside guys. We talk about A&M defense, and man, Vochi's telling you, hey, watch this guy, watch that guy. Yeah. But you're absolutely right about you would think at 300 pounds, he'd have no anchor streak. He actually does. But I kind of feel like that he's the best suited because of the movement. Mm-hmm. If he plays in with a team that allows him to move and not have to play with brute strength.
Sure.
But he's capable.
Yeah.
He's capable. And I don't think it's something that you want 65 plays of sitting down on people. Right. But if you put him moving and going, and this guy's super smart. Sure. I mean, you watch him play, you could tell he's kind of got the idea of like the help. I got to be over here. I'm going to shield this guy away. I know the ball's coming behind me over here. He does all those things that you like in a center, and it's kind of like it in a way. He kind of absorbs the defender, and then he positions himself to be able to.
He walls guys off really well.
He will take the block and then he'll turn and then he knows the ball's coming behind him or the ball's going to go outside. It's really impressive. It's funny. The last line I said about them, I said his lack of bulk doesn't always show up.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's. Maybe he's going to be a 305-pound guy at best, a 308-pound guy. Yeah. But the athletic ability, he's played a lot of football. This guy's been starting since his freshman year at Auburn. Yeah. And playing the SEC, playing Georgia, playing A&M now, playing Tennessee, playing Florida, playing all these teams with these big inside players. Connor Lew is not I don't think Connor Lew is a liability at all as a center. Yeah. For being 300 pounds.
For sure. It's interesting. We're saying the same thing about, or I was saying the same thing about Peter Woods, the tackle from Clemson.
Right.
He's a guy that he doesn't get pushed backwards.
Right.
He can sit down and not get pushed backwards, but I don't see him get pressure forward. I don't see him penetrate forward. So Connor Lew, he doesn't drive people forward. But he doesn't go backwards. He sits down. So that's more of a technique thing than a brute power thing to me. And look, that's cool. Yeah. But ultimately, I think he's really good as a hat-on hat guy. He's going to need help, but he's a center, so he's going to get help. Yeah. Not really a people pusher on his own, but he can get some movement depending on the opponent. Okay, yeah. I've seen some games where he does get some drive. Yeah. But the Georgia game, like you say, that's top tier talent right there. You're not going to move Christian Miller just all the way off the ball.
Yeah.
But if you can fight with him, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's funny about him too. Like I'll watch him play, and his base will get a little wide.
Sure.
Usually, you think if you got a wide base player, that they can't move. Mm-hmm. He's kind of the opposite.
He take them small steps.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of gets himself back in shape doing that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But Bryan, I'm a fan. I have him ranked over Slaughter, and look, Slaughter's a guy that I was impressed with too.
I do too.
I was impressed with Slaughter, but Connor Lew is my best center. I got him at the top of the two. Man, Bryan, like 126 maybe.
Yeah.
124, 125, 126.
You got him in the middle of the round.
Yeah, middle of the round. That's where I got him.
I'll tell you what, I think like I say, I have him personally in the third myself.
Okay.
But he's more, if I say you're 125, I'd be like the 130, 131. And
so we ain't far away.
Yeah, we're not far. And the thing about it is, me and but these centers, they're 300-something pounds, and they're getting it done. Voch, you might be closer, not might. We'll see. We'll see how teams view it. Yeah. He'll test well at the combine, I bet. I bet you he'll run well. The movement drills, everything will look good. People looking for centers. Yeah. 126, 125's a very, very fair grade for this guy.
Yeah, and you know, people are kind of asking like, what does that mean? Our Cowboy grading system. So we'll go one. I think of it as 1 point something. Right.
The one. Don't think about the one. It's just a computer thing.
Yeah. So when we go one, what I say, 2.5 or whatever. Yeah. Just think about like the 2.5.
Right.
So the last two numbers, right? So 2 is the round.
Right.
And think of that last number as like a scale from 1 to 10.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So 129 is like you way at the end.
Yeah.
121, you're way at the beginning of the round. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So 2.
Where you would take them in the round.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, 126, don't even think about the 1. The 2 is round 2. 6 is in the middle of 1 to 10. So 6 is in the middle of the round. So I'm drafting Connor Lew at like 50-something.
Yeah, there you go.
But you'll draft Connor Lew at like 70-something.
Right.
So we're not that far.
Right.
We're not that far.
You know what? The more, reading the report and reading the notes.
You like the player.
I like the player, but I think that you might be more right about the grade of the player.
Sure.
I like him better than Slaughter, and I thought Slaughter's pretty good. I thought Slaughter had some good things, the Florida center. Yeah. I thought he did some good things in the Senior Bowl.
Sure did.
You know, so yeah. Both, if you look at Lew and Slaughter, you look at the number of starts. Like we're talking, Lew, freshman starter, Lew, freshman starter at Auburn, and then Slaughter, a starter at Florida, played over 33 games. Yeah. How do guys play over 30-something college games and not play with power or play with
right.
So again, sound like I'm making a case for you on the 125, which is probably that's probably where he that's somebody's going to look at him as probably like the 50th best, maybe just outside the top 50 if you put your top 50 list together. Yeah. Somewhere right around in there. He could be right in the top 50, or he could be 54, 55, somewhere right around there.
See, as an offensive lineman, you don't have to be strong all the time. I just don't want you to be a victim. I don't want you to be a victim of somebody's power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
John Michael Schmitz from the Giants.
Sure.
You see John Michael Schmitz from the Giants, and you thought athlete, and then you watch him, and he just doesn't anchor like he needs to anchor.
If Mozzie's whooping him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But last year, like Marcus Bowe, you know what I'm saying, from Purdue, didn't really get good push. He was 298, Brian.
Yeah, he was.
But he was a good technician, and he was strong anchoring, so I can live with that. Brian, I ain't got nothing to say about LT Overton. I ain't got nothing.
We're getting into the confusing states. These edges are kicking my ass, to be honest with you.
So I was just in round 2, Brian. Yeah. Let's jump all the way all the way down to round 4.
Yeah.
Just to give you, my last guy in the 3rd round was Danny Dennis Smith. I might bring him down to 4. My first player in the 4th is Gabe Jacas, and I got LT Overton after Gabe Jacas, Brian. Besides long arms, and I play at Alabama, I ain't got nothing great to say about
I don't know what position this guy plays. I don't know if he's really a 3 technique or if he's an edge. Is he a tackle or is he an edge? And I'll say this about him. He's a transfer from Texas A&M. Usually A&M, we just talked about A&M.
They get guys.
A&M's usually got defensive linemen that we talk about now, it seems like every year. But you look at how he's played. He has played up and down the line his entire career at wherever he's been. I felt like there were times he played well at the point of attack. I felt like that there were some times where he took on blockers pretty well, holding the gap. He's just not explosive. And it's like you're waiting for him to go. You're just, once the ball snapped, it's like, go. And he just doesn't do that. We know that there's some schemes, like the Georgia scheme. Mm-hmm. Their guys kind of sit and wait, and then they go. But, when you look at Alabama, they're like, he needs to be up the field, and he's not up the field. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a lot of hand use after contact. I don't see a real pass rush plan with this guy. I don't think he has any counter moves to kind of help himself. His production is not that great. When he wants to come off the ball, he could be a problem, but he doesn't always come off the ball. So that's the things I always worry about. I think the run part of it, there's some good elements there, but man, where's the pass rush with this guy? So I don't know. At 6'5", 278, is he an edge? Is he a tackle? My last line again, Voch. I said this. Another one of those highly rated guys that's not playing like one. Mm-hmm. I said this also. Might let someone else be a hero here.
What round you got him in?
4th.
This ain't even a let somebody be a hero thing. This is just I don't want him on my board, Bryan.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not particularly. I don't sound enthused, and I'm not enthused.
He got
I'd be willing to let him prove me wrong, though. I'm always willing to do that.
He got long arms, Bryan. Can extend pretty well. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Guy didn't light you up at all, did he?
Hands kind of get stuck on people. Hey, man, stop letting him block you. Probably going to be an odd front defensive end or maybe a three-tech type of guy.
Yeah.
Then I saw him line up in B-gap, and I was like, kind of getting pushed around in B-gap, too. Needs a bunch of coaching. Probably quicker rushing.
See, you
rushing
say
inside.
that, too, from Alabama, needs a bunch of coaching. And you would think he would get a bunch of coaching.
I said this on the draft show yesterday. My whole problem with ceiling guy is you've been playing for a big program for 3 years, dog.
And we're waiting for
Why don't you know how to stack and share properly?
Well, it's like the guys, too, that are not big enough. They don't have a lot of weight to them, or they're not strong. Yeah. And they go to school like at Nebraska that has one of the best weight facilities in the country, or one of these places. You're like, well, why are they not getting stronger? They have one of the best weight facilities in the world there.
Yeah, Bryan, I think people have been overrating Overton for a couple of years.
I think so, too.
Last year he was a guy that was projected in the 20s and 30s, and he went back to school. Yeah. I saw him in the same kind of range this year. I'm like, man, just like our guy from A&M last year. Not Shamar Stewart, but the other Stewart. Because there was a couple of Stewarts, and there was a couple of Shamars last year at A&M.
Nick Scroton was the one.
Scroton was another one. Yeah. So I was like, hey, yo, Voch, Nick Scroton played well. I mean, he started, but he's tackling people because he's starting. You know what I'm saying? He playing well. He just wasn't the top 5 guy in the draft, Bryan. That's another thing, too. That's another thing. People think I hate players. I just don't think of players as a top 5 player in the draft. Yeah. Kelvin Falk was like projected as a top 6 guy. And I was like, man, I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate Falk.
Yeah.
I love Falk in the 50s.
Yeah.
But I saw him as a top 6 guy. Last year, Stewart was a top 5 guy. Nick Scroton was a top 6 guy. I was like, man, I don't see this.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about that bothers me is how do these guys get to be that? Mm-hmm. But they fall. Yeah. I mean, by the time we get to the draft, Overton will be a guy that we're like going, huh?
I'm still waiting.
Somebody will take him, and we'll just the conversation will be. And it'll circle right back. Sure. It'll circle right back to the conversation we're having right now.
I'm still waiting on Dallas Turner to come around, and you know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. But we ain't got to talk about Overton. I ain't got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Nothing good to say about Overton.
We're doing our work right. Watching the players.
Bryan, boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, see, look, I was at the bottom of my board. Let me scroll back up for this character. Let me scroll back up the board for this character. Bryan.
Yeah.
Josiah Trotter can play, can't he?
Yeah.
Is it Josiah or Josiah?
I think it's Josiah.
Josiah?
Yeah.
Josiah can play, can't he?
Yeah, he can play.
Linebacker from Missouri?
He can play a little bit. Yep, sure can.
I thought he was short, Bryan. He looked a little short.
No, he's not. He's
6'3". He probably be 6'2".
See, his brother.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in the family. Yeah. I drafted Dad in Philadelphia in 1998. Yeah. Dad is very much this son, Josiah. Dad is a 6'2", 237 guy. Mm. The brother who plays for Philadelphia is a shorter, lighter guy.
Got you.
So yeah, Josiah is this kid. I'll transfer from West Virginia. I'll let you have the floor.
Instincts.
Yeah.
Instincts. Exclamation.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is
with Philly.
Philly, yeah.
This is Josiah.
Yeah.
Instincts, exclamation, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
He sniffs out that run, doesn't he, Bryan?
He does.
He sniffs out that run. I saw this one play. where they was running like a jet sweep and a fake to the right. Everybody on defense ran to the right. Josiah ran to the left with the jet sweep.
Yeah.
The cameraman got faked out and everything. Cameraman went to the right and sweep back over to the left, and Josiah over there cleaning it up. I say, whoo, Bryan, I love when misdirection ain't got nothing to do with you and your job. True sideline to sideline tackler. Now, Bryan, everybody ain't that.
Nope.
Everybody's not a
We say it, but
sideline
it's not.
guy.
Yeah, we say it.
But also on top of the sideline stuff, Bryan, he thumps downhill. Everybody don't do that neither. I think he handles blocks in multiple different ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes he slips under them. Sometimes he's just so ahead of the play that he just beats him to the landmark. Other times, Bryan, he's thumping with the damn blockers, Bryan. This just run game here. Bryan doesn't get lost in the wash or anything like that. I'm not sure how he's going to handle coverage, but if you need something for him to do on third down, I don't think they rushed him enough.
No.
I don't think they rushed him enough.
Yeah.
But when they blitzed him or they rushed him, Bryan, you see some pass rush stuff. You see some power. You see some pop in the hands. I saw a little weave and dip. That's Jeremiah, little boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Bryan, I'm watching Josiah, man. I'm like, man, you're probably not going to cover all that great, but I think you're athletic enough. I don't think he's fast, Bryan. I don't know what his speed is.
Right.
But if you're athletic enough and you're smart enough, then I think coaching can bring his coverage ability up a little bit to improve it. I don't want him in man coverage on an island with Christian McCaffrey, nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's stupid. But if he's in zone, I think he could just kind of float around and just run to the football, because if he can see it, he can get there.
Yeah.
Bryan, I like Josiah Trotter a lot. I got him at the top of the third.
It's exactly where I have him as well. And I have him right behind, if you talk about Hill and Allen. Hill from Texas, Allen from Georgia.
Yeah.
Trotter here from Missouri. This is what I'll say about this.
That's exactly where I have him, by the way, right in front of Rodriguez.
Yeah, I do too.
There you go.
You copy my notes over there, man?
I don't have your notes. Your notes was in San Francisco. We're just simpatico on this one. Please.
I got you, man. Highest tackle games this year: Vanderbilt, A&M, Alabama, Oklahoma.
Big time.
This guy plays really well against good teams. That's his trademark, man. I'm saying this. I love his dad. I really do. I mean, I love his dad as the way what he did for us in Philly.
I don't know his dad.
Yeah, his dad was quite a player, and for a long time, and his sons. I love seeing them. His son, Jeremiah Jr. playing at Philly, I think is a good player. I think Josiah is a much better player, and I think Josiah is like his dad. I think he's that. I think he's got that instincts. He's got that toughness. He's got that downhill. Yeah, you don't want to put him in a lot of coverage. You really, really don't. But man, you mentioned about the dip underneath blockers. Yeah. He delivers big time blows. He really hits. Yeah. And so you're the Cowboys and you're thinking about, man, inside linebacker, Mike linebacker guy. This is Mike linebacker guy. Is who this is.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's going to get to the football, make plays, and just be that type of player. I love his build, 6'2", 237, and he's a big time player. I also have him in the third round. Like I say, the three linebackers I have: Hill, Texas; Allen, Georgia; and Trotter. I have him in that range right there. I would love to have this kid. If you had a day 2 pick, I think he's going to be a day 2 player. I think people are going to fall in love with the size and the ability to play against big time competition. It shows up every week with this guy.
Now, Bryan, let's say you don't get linebacker at 12 and 20. You don't get Styles at 12, and you don't get like Allen or something at 20.
Yeah.
I think there's some dudes in this class that they're not complete linebackers, but they smart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I got some guys in the threes right here. Trotter, Rodriguez. York does some cover things too.
Yep.
These linebackers may not be complete in that way.
Yep.
But do you see any of these linebackers that may not be the top 3 or so guys that can come in and like play and start for you. You know what I mean? Think about Ivan Pace when we were covering him.
Yeah.
He's not perfect, but like Minnesota had a plan and like a list of tasks for him. And he had a really good rookie campaign as like an undrafted 7th round linebacker, whatever he was, Brian. Do you think any of these guys down this list, Trotter, Rodriguez, York, and apparently, according to league scouts, Anthony Hill, because apparently he ain't shit. He in the 4th round too, according to them.
I totally disagree.
I totally disagree as well. But do you think any of these late round guys?
Would you include Lawson from Alabama?
No, sir. I didn't name him for. I looked down my list.
You didn't name him for a reason.
I left Deontay Lawson off because I don't think he does anything particularly well. Like York covers really well.
Yeah.
But his flaw is that he's small. Rodriguez is very smart.
Yeah.
He tackles really well. He diagnoses well. Right. And the same with Trotter. I just don't know how they're going to look in coverage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because of whatever reason, those guys may fall to the 4th, to the top of the 4th, where you have a pick.
Right.
I think Cowboy fans think that they have to find linebacker impact at 12 and 20. Brian, do you think the Cowboys can find true linebacker impact at 114 with one of these guys?
The history will tell you no.
Okay.
The history for the Cowboys will tell you no.
History.
Everybody else in the league will tell you're going to get a Pro Bowl starter.
Yeah.
There's something weird about. Remember some of the linebackers that they've kind of.
Minnesota got some linebackers this year I never heard of. I never heard of these guys.
That's what I'm saying. There's some teams that have this knack.
Yeah.
You know, I was visiting with some guys with the it was Bob Papa, the radio voice for the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. Bob's like, I asked him a question about the offensive line for the Giants. He says the reason our problem is we don't have Will McClay drafting this offensive lineman. You know, there's some teams that have a real feel. My hope is that Christian Parker and this coaching staff that's coming in has an idea of the type of guys they want, and they see that in particular players. Because Voch, as you and I have known, and we've talked about it a bunch on all our platforms, is that these coaches are going to have, a big say in what happens with this roster. I'm hoping. I mean, I've seen it with recently with James, Maris Leofau.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen them try and
a coach advocate for a linebacker and they take him.
Yeah. And then the linebacker doesn't play worth a damn.
Yeah. Really, because Brian, here's another angle to that. I think because we're overdrafting the linebackers. Shamar James wasn't a 5 to me.
Yeah.
He was in my extras.
Yeah.
Maris wasn't a 3 to me.
Right.
We was talking about Maris. Like,
we did.
Like,
yeah.
I like Maris, man, but I wanted one of the running backs in the 3rd round that year. Maris was like a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're overdrafting these guys.
See, that's the thing about it is, and to answer your question, I kind of feel like other teams do a better job of that.
Final linebackers,
Yeah, and maybe it's something you need to look at your evaluation, your cross checkers, your guy who handles the linebackers. Yeah. If you're consistently having issues drafting guys at certain positions, you need to get that guy out of that spot.
Sure.
Don't let somebody have an opinion. And I sound like I have disrespect for scouts, but damn it, if you are not good at evaluating a position,
that's y'all's game though. That's y'all's job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're not helping your team win with sound decisions and reports, something needs to change. Something needs to change. Mm-hmm. And if whoever's helping them with some of their offensive line stuff, we've seen a couple of our balls and people like that, that haven't worked out.
Josh Ball-Waletzko, yeah.
Matt Waletzko, we've seen that. But man, they need to figure out this linebacker thing. But to your point, yes, there are guys that you could pick in the 4th round that could absolutely help your team.
Let me scroll up the board a little more.
Oh, okay.
Look, you see my hand doing that?
Your hands. Let
me scroll up the board over there. Let me scroll up the board a little bit more. Brian, why don't you tell us about our cornerback from San Diego State, Chris Johnson, and tell us why he's a 2nd round pick for you. First of all, what do you have him, Brian?
I got him in the 3rd.
I cool you wrong. But go ahead and tell us about Chris Johnson and why you like him.
I actually got, and this is the problem, I could not put him in the 2nd with Hood from Tennessee.
Correct.
Abney from Arizona State. Rivers from Duke. Yeah. Pons from Indiana. Yeah. I couldn't put him in that mix. Let me ask you this. What do you think this guy runs?
He ain't going to run fast.
4.55?
My last line is, I don't know how fast he runs.
Yeah.
He's probably going to run 4.55, Bryan.
But you're going to tell me he's a really good zone player. You're going to tell me, man, you put him in press man, he can handle that. You're going to tell me all these things about this kid. I can't say that I disagree with you on some things, but I'll say this thing.
Did you watch the Cal game?
I couldn't get the Cal game to pull up on my because I was trying to watch it on Radio Row, and the internet was jacking it up, so I couldn't pull it up. Did he knock him dead? Colorado State, Fresno State were a couple games I watched.
Bryan, he has an interception in the Cal game.
Was it one of those one-handed?
He baits the quarterback so stupidly, and I have a thing for intelligence. I have a thing for intelligence. All y'all athletic. But if you smarter than somebody, we can go to Golden Corral if you smarter than somebody, Bryan Broaddus. On top of the idea that you a good zone and off man guy. On top of that, Bryan, plays the football in the air, Bryan.
I don't see
he got ball skills, Bryan. Don't say he don't. He be able to smack the football.
No, but did you see a guy that had trouble keeping up at times?
People run past him, but he has what I call recovery speed, and he's one of those. You ever seen some guys recover, but when they recover, they don't go back to finding the football. He recovers and go back to finding the football, Bryan.
I don't think this is a smooth or fluid moving player.
He looked goofy, but that's why he's more of a zone guy than a man guy. That's why I couldn't
put him with the other guys that we were talking about.
Sure.
Because you convinced me about Rivers. You convinced me about Rivers. You want me to put him above Rivers?
You ain't got to put. I like Rivers. I don't know. No, don't put him. I don't know.
No, you're fighting for the guy right now. It sounds like you like him better than Rivers.
This the problem. I like Rivers a lot. Rivers has physical limitations.
By the way, Duke Rivers,
cornerback from Duke. Chandler Rivers, cornerback from Duke. I kind of, I'm the size may end up mattering more to me, and I think he's only going to play in the nickel. I think Chris Johnson can play outside and inside, though. That's what I'm saying. And I think the size is going to matter. Go ahead, read your report.
I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this. He does have good size, and I think he does have some athletic ability. I think he does a good job of battling at the position that he plays, the movement skills. I'm not sure how great this guy runs. That's something I put with a question mark. Yeah. There's snaps where he appears to be struggling to keep up. If he doesn't get his hands on the receivers, you really kind of notice this more. Mm-hmm. He can stay in phase when press coverage, and he's allowed to be physical with the receiver. The scheme requires a great deal of zone coverage, so you see him play from depth quite a bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say he has the smoothest back pedal. He's kind of clunky. Mm-hmm. Is that the right word? But it doesn't look smooth or fluid as compared to the guys that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I don't see a twitchy guy here.
He ain't twitchy.
Yeah. I do see a physical guy, though. Mm-hmm. And he's more willing to drive on the ball to make a play. Some of his best plays come from depth, where he's able to drive on the routes. Sure. Wrap-up tackler, physical player, get rid of blockers in order to get to the ball. You're right about the instincts on this guy. Mm-hmm. But the speed, I just see people going by him. Mm-hmm. And if he keeps it in front, fine. Everything deep or down the field, I don't know. And you know me, the running across the field guy, I don't know.
Yeah. He's not going to be your traditional all-day man guy.
Yeah.
Teams play 75% zone
anyway, I knew you were going to throw I knew you.
He going to play more zone than man anyway, Bryan.
Bocce metrics, man.
I'm phony.
I'm
metrics, phony, Bryan.
Metrics, man.
Bryan, I have a thing. He kind of reminded me of Trey Diggs a little bit, Bryan.
Really?
You reminded me of Trey Diggs in a way of
that looseness. I always like to talk about the looseness because I talk about Hood from Tennessee that way.
Like, bro, I'll give up a big play, pardon me.
Yeah.
But I'm baiting your quarterback into throwing the ball right to me.
Yeah.
Do something about it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't wrong, Bryan. You know, just kind of listening.
You told me I was wrong to start the day.
I ain't say you was wrong, Bryan. Like he's not gonna be the most athletically gifted. You know what I'm saying? I
couldn't place him with all those guys that we just talked about. That's the thing, and you're trying to convince me of.
I'm trying to find this damn place I can show you him baiting this damn quarterback.
Was it Cal? See, that's the Cal. The Cal thing was on the. For some reason, the Cal film would not load. Well, and that's where I probably messed up. I'll go back and watch the Cal game. I don't know if I'll move him up and down.
Nah, you ain't got to move him. But to your point, though, if we are
people love this guy.
I do too.
There's
Bryan,
people that love this guy.
If we're creating this ambiguous for all 32 teams draft board,
yeah,
I think you have to take into you have to take into account that some teams are going to play more zone and they're looking for a dude.
You just told me they are, and they do, and you're not lying about that. Every week when we break down, or you'll go, Bryan, tell me about. Well, they play 80% zone, 78% zone, 75% zone. Everybody,
I found this shit, Bryan. I'm gonna pass this to you as I continue to talk about Chris Johnson, the cornerback from. He's at the bottom. Please,
all right.
Help yourself.
Yep.
Help yourself. And Bryan, watch him bait the damn quarterback. Watch him come off of his guy and go and shoot back over. We'll just talk y'all through it. But dog, Chris Johnson, Bryan, I have a soft spot for smart. Don't push it back over here.
I'm pushing back.
Look at your smile.
That's how he plays. He floats.
He floats.
You're talking about Diggs.
That's what Diggs does.
That's what I talked about with Hood.
Sure.
The same thing, that looseness, and I say looseness, not in the body looseness.
Sure.
That kind of like, okay, I'm really not letting you know that I'm supposed to be covering this guy over here, and then that's a late damn throw too, by the way.
It's all right.
That's a late throw.
It's his fault.
What a late read.
Bryan, Jalen Hurts throws
Mendoza,
late.
when he was at Cal, he wouldn't make that late throw.
Jalen Hurts make late throws all the time, Bryan Broaddus. You know what I'm saying? And he's a professional quarterback in the National Football League. Man, I like to hear Bryan.
Stack him. Okay, stack him. Stack him with your second round guys. Let me hear it.
With my corners?
Yeah, stack it.
So I got Hood as my top second round corner.
Okay.
Terrell is my second guy.
These are okay. So it's Tennessee, Clemson,
and I'm conflicted right now.
You're putting Johnson, San Diego State in there.
So this is my problem, right? So let's talk through this, right? Let's talk
real quick. Pons, Indiana, and then our guy from Duke.
I'm
Rivers.
Rivers. I got Rivers.
And I'm saying this. You're kind of ticking him down because of the 5'9", aren't you? A little bit.
Yes, but I think Rivers deals with his size better than Pons does, I think. Now, Pons is super aggressive with the ball in the air. I think Rivers is super aggressive with humans. You know what I'm saying? Pons get pushed around, but when the ball in the air, it's free game.
Right.
I think Rivers does have even for his size, I think he plays with a different like physicality, like even as a tackler and all that. Yeah. So I got Rivers over Pons.
So your struggle right now is Johnson. You have them ahead of those two guys, right? That
yes.
And is it because of zone ability, instincts, smarts?
So
toughness.
Those
are all great traits to have, by the way, for a corner.
They're all great. See, where I'm kind of caught up is this is my group of like four. Like Pons is in the third round for me.
Right.
Is Abney, who's my first third round guy. Yeah. Johnson, in which I'm still undecided.
I have Abney too high to you, then, don't I? In the second round.
See, this is what I'm thinking. Abney might be a second round guy.
Yeah.
Because I like Abney just as much as I like Johnson.
Abney, Arizona State, by the way.
Abney, cornerback from Arizona State. I think Abney and Johnson could go over Rivers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They both have a size advantage over him. They both have a versatility aspect that Rivers doesn't have. I think they both measurables, like both their measurables are gonna end up being more. I don't think the three of them are gonna run. Abney might run better than those guys. Abney's probably gonna run better than them.
He's got a little bit of a background of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Rivers and Johnson probably aren't gonna run as well. I think Rivers is the best of those guys technically, but he's small.
Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction.
Sure.
Johnson is going to run like maybe low 4.5 something, 4.5, 2.4. And all of a sudden, people are going to kill you. You can't have a corner running 4.5.
I think you can. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. We're about to have a show where you're like, I don't give a damn.
What did Surtain run? Surtain didn't run like we thought he was going to run.
Man, off the top.
Will Johnson didn't run.
Will Johnson, I mean,
he didn't run for that reason.
Does Chris Johnson not run?
I think
does Chris Johnson just say, you know what? I saw a guy get picked in the first round not running.
And didn't run.
And didn't run.
I wouldn't run.
If there's questions about his speed,
yeah,
why would he?
The agents will probably advise him to not run.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Because I do have questions about his speed. I don't have questions about everything else, though.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't. And I did the same thing with that Michigan corner last year.
Brian, this is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm doing this on the fly. How about this? These are my third round corners now. Pons, Neal, Everett, okay?
Yeah.
Those are my guys, right? My second round guys.
Yeah, I got Neal above Everett, too.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
My second round guys, I'm not going to move Hood and Terrell. I'm leaving them up top. Yeah. I think this is going to be my order for real because I'm just thinking about this on the fly. I do like Abney more than I like Johnson.
Yeah.
I like Johnson a bunch. Rivers is different, but I like what he does.
Well, I thought you turned me on to Rivers. You were
Rivers
like,
is so good.
Yeah.
I might go Abney, Rivers, Johnson. That's what I think. I might end up going Abney, Rivers, but I love a smart football player. Bro.
I know you do.
I love a smart football, but they're all smart.
I know you do.
They're all smart in their own way. And I'm looking at Abney. Abney's another guy that's a zone off man guy.
Yeah.
Mirrors really well, IDs routes well. They all do this. Abney's a good tackler. That might be the difference.
Yeah.
Tackling.
Yeah.
Abney,
well, Johnson will tackle too now.
Abney and River. I think Johnson will tackle.
Yeah.
Rivers throw his body at people.
Yeah.
To be that little.
He tries.
He's super aggressive.
Yeah.
And Rivers may be one of these the new age nickel guys that come up and help you in the run game so you can stay in nickel the whole game type guys, right, Brian? I think that's going to be my ranking now. Abney, Rivers, Johnson. And we just talked ourselves through that. They're all kind of zone guys in their own way. They're all smart. They all tackle well,
smart,
but,
smart.
that's
very smart.
Bottom of the twos. And look, we're going to keep changing this thing every day.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun thing about it.
We may not move guys out of rounds.
Yeah.
But we may move a player up.
The stack is always going to look different.
Stack is going to change.
Yeah.
I have my board up on my Twitter at Voch Lombardi.
I'm getting close to
Twitter.
being able to send it over to you or get it up for you to get to the 100. So.
Brian's going to definitely put his out soon, and we're going to eventually put both of them on our website, crownglobemedia.com, so you guys can check that out. And everything's going to be on crownglobemedia.com. The socials, all the shows that we do, the merch. Yeah, Brian
I'm not wearing any merch today.
But you got that tumbler on there, though, Brian.
All my merch is dirty. I wore it at the Radio Row.
You was doing right, Brian.
I was trying.
You was letting
I'm doing all right.
What we doing there? All right. Put me on too. There we go. Bam. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're gonna come back Monday. We got some homework for y'all, man. Let me see what we talking about here. Brad Sham, like Brad be fighting on Twitter, don't it?
Brad fights all the time.
He fighting on Twitter.
Yeah, you don't want to get on Brad's bad side on that Twitter stuff.
I saw Brad. I thought I was trying like, damn, what I say, Brad? But he liked my one of my tweets, or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So here's our homework. Here we go. For the 9th after the Super Bowl, Monday. Y'all ready? Write this down. It's gonna be on the tip.
National holiday.
Is it? Is it holiday?
It should be.
Yeah, it should be. We got Chris Bell, wide receiver from
Louisville.
Been seeing a lot about him.
Yes.
Jake Goldie, linebacker from Cincinnati.
People have asked me about him.
Seen his name as well. Brian, I've watched Max Ihanachor. That's his name. Ihanachor. Max Ihanachor from Arizona State.
Who gave you that one?
Kyle Yeomans.
I
always call him Iron Anchor.
I think that's what I've heard him call that too.
I've heard him call Iron Anchor.
I have too.
But Kyle corrected me 3 times on the draft show and said Ihanachor. But I heard somebody call him Iron Anchor. I wasn't being funny.
I thought they were saying it on this during the Senior Bowl coverage.
Yeah, Iron Anchor, yeah. Max from Arizona State. We're gonna talk about him.
He's
hell of a Senior Bowl. Hell of a Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about him. These Texas Tech kids keep beating the shit out of these tackles though, Brad. Did you watch Ihanachor versus Texas Tech?
I'm not. I haven't seen him yet. It's my weekend projects.
Brian, watch all the other film. So you watch 2, 3, 4 games?
4 games.
Watch 3 other games.
And then watch Tech.
I watch Baylor, Houston, like TCU or something. Yeah. Then watch Texas Tech. Why does Texas Tech beat the shit out of these people that be whooping everybody else? I don't know. But Maxie Ihanachor, offensive tackle from Arizona State. Emmett Johnson, running back from Nebraska.
Yes, I've seen him.
Okay. And you like him?
Tell you what I do.
We'll talk about it.
I do. Real quick. We talked about him on the stack before. So, yeah. But I'll tell you where I have him stacked just to make sure I have him right. I have him actually below Love. He's my second best running back.
All right, cool. We'll talk about it. And Daryl Jackson, because we got 5, because Mondays we got a little more time.
Yeah.
Daryl Jackson, defensive lineman from Florida State. We're going to talk about him as well. So we got 5 on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all be sure to get your homework in. Be on time. All this stuff will be on the test, okay? So we love y'all to pieces, and we'll see y'all on Monday after the Super Bowl. Enjoy yourself, all right? Crown.